The Dagestani camp is reportedly turning against Khamzat Chimaev after his decision to forgive Sean Strickland following UFC 328. What was once seen as an unbreakable brotherhood between Chimaev, Khabib Nurmagomedov, and Islam Makhachev now appears deeply fractured after one controversial moment changed everything. According to reports circulating within the MMA world, Khabib's inner circle views Chimaev's actions after the fight as a betrayal of the values and principles they have defended for years. On May 9, 2026, at the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey, Sean Strickland defeated Khamzat Chimaev via split decision in the main event of UFC 328 to become a two-time UFC middleweight champion. The judges scored the fight 48-47, 48-47 for Strickland, while one scorecard favored Chimaev 48-47. In front of nearly 18,000 fans, the fight itself was competitive and intense, but it was the aftermath that created the real controversy across the MMA world. Immediately after the decision was announced, Chimaev shook Strickland's hand, embraced him, and even placed the championship belt around his waist. For many viewers, especially within Muslim MMA communities, that moment carried far more weight than the actual fight result. Sean Strickland had spent weeks making inflammatory comments aimed at Chimaev's religion, culture, and identity. He repeatedly referred to Chimaev as a terrorist, used anti-Muslim rhetoric during interviews and press conferences, and directed similar insults toward other Muslim fighters, including Belal Muhammad. Because of that history, many fans expected lasting hostility between the two fighters. Instead, Chimaev chose forgiveness. Days later, he explained his reasoning on Instagram, saying that once a fight is over, there is no reason to continue hatred outside the cage. Chimaev stated that Strickland apologized privately and asked for forgiveness, and according to his faith, forgiveness is an important principle. He insisted that Islam teaches mercy, restraint, and avoiding oppression even towards someone who wronged you. However, that explanation only intensified criticism from parts of the Dagestani and Chechen MMA communities. Fighters and fans who strongly identify with the culture Khabib Nurmagomedov built inside MMA viewed the situation differently. To them, Strickland's comments were not ordinary trash talk. They saw them as direct attacks on Islam and Muslim identity, the eye in their eyes. Publicly forgiving Strickland on the sport's biggest stage appeared less like sportsmanship and more like acceptance of behavior they believe should never be tolerated. Khabib's legacy inside MMA has always been tied to loyalty, discipline, and standing firmly against disrespect toward family, culture, and religion. His rivalry with Conor McGregor before UFC 229 became symbolic of those principles after McGregor repeatedly insulted Khabib's father, faith, and background. Many supporters now compare Chimaev's actions to Khabib's uncompromising response during that era, arguing that the situations reveal two very different approaches to handling disrespect. Belal Muhammad also reacted strongly to the situation, criticizing Strickland's rhetoric and questioning whether an apology could truly erase months of inflammatory statements. Muhammad argued that the issue went beyond promoting a fight and crossed into open religious hostility. According to him, there's a major difference between competitive trash talk and sustained attacks targeting an entire religious community. The controversy has now created visible tension within MMA circles connected to Dagestan and Chechnya. While some believe Chimaev showed maturity and faith through forgiveness, others feel he failed to defend the honor of the community that supported him throughout his rise in the UFC. That disagreement has reportedly caused serious friction behind the scenes, with speculation growing about Chimaev's future relationship with figures closely tied to Khabib's camp. At the same time, analysts have also revisited the technical side of the fight itself. Khabib previously criticized Chimaev's tendency to rely heavily on explosive wrestling early before fading as fights progress. Against Strickland, many observers believe those concerns became reality. Chimaev dominated portions of the early rounds, but appeared exhausted later in the fight, allowing Strickland to take control with pace, pressure, and volume striking. Now the MMA world remains divided. Some fans praise Chimaev for choosing faith and humility after defeat. Others believe the gesture towards Strickland damaged his standing within the very community that helped elevate him into one of the UFC's biggest stars. Whatever side people take, UFC 328 may have permanently changed the perception of Khamzat Chimaev both inside and outside the cage.